Hello, hello. It's Monday evening. I'm back again. Welcome back to Enter the Dojo. Those of you that are with me. Let's see if there is anybody with me. Not yet. Not yet. For those of you watching on the replay, if you are watching, thank you very much. If you're not subscribed, please subscribe. You can also find me on Instagram and Twitter and all the other places. Before I start, though, get this. Oh, there you go. That's what I've got to do first. Lovely. So, good evening if you're watching. Who's that? Marv. Hey, Marv. Congratulations on getting your campaign going. And, you got seven today. That's really good. It's a good start. Good start. This is actually for a sketch tier on Only Death Can Save Us Book 1. Some people were kind enough to buy the sketch tier while I was closing out on Michael Bancroft's channel, and a couple of people chose the sketch tier. So this is a sketch of D. So I've just printed the blue lines out and filling in with a brush pen. So on vacation. Oh, fantastic. That's so nice. I've got absolutely no time to myself at the moment, which is a good thing. As being freelance is often, unfortunately, feast or famine. You never know quite what you're going to get. And this last week has been absolutely mental. I got asked to do some design work, some preliminary creative work on a potential book. Yeah, I can't really talk about it, unfortunately. But it's something because of the nature of it, I'm going to be able to fit it in between Outliers and Only Death Can Save Us. So that took up a lot of my time this week, or over the weekend, actually. Didn't get much of a weekend. And then I was also doing some speculative stuff for my esteemed editor, Tim Quinn. He does a lot of books for good causes, and he asked me to do something on there, so hopefully help out. Did some stuff for that. But I was also doing stuff for Outliers. So I did some of that speculative stuff this morning, and then I was doing layouts for Outliers for the rest of the day. And then I did some teaching, went out and did some karate. Taught some kids. It's like herding cats. And then came home and did some more. And here I am. Hi, William. How you doing? So yeah, being a freelancer, it really is feast or famine. You just got to take the work while you can get it. Oh, bit of improvement. Nothing wrong with that, mate. Always worth giving it a quick look. I often, when I was doing work for Doctor Who, I'd often keep the pages back for a couple of days, just so that I could sit with them and pick the odd thing out. I mean, it was a luxury because I was only doing, I think it was like 10 or 11 pages a month. So it meant I could time it just so. This isn't running out, is it? I could time it just so that I could sit on them and come back to them a couple of days later. Yeah, that's all right. Oops. A couple of days later, and just pick out things. Sometimes you just see stuff, you don't see it straight away. Eight backers. Oh, you're doing well, Marv. It's coming on. So, of course, I must address the elephant in the room. We lost at the football last night. I'm not really that bothered, to be honest. Not really much of a football fan, to be honest. Doesn't do it for me. Quite like watching a karate tournament, though, or something like that. That's quite good. Bit of boxing, some MMA. That's fun. But nah, not that bothered for the footy. But from what I saw, which wasn't a lot, they played okay. They played okay. The Italians were Italian. If you know what I mean. But yeah, one of them things. I think I might put a star background on this. Or just maybe some Kirby Crackle. I think some Kirby Crackle. Don't like those. Get the big pen out. Get the big pen out. Okay. I prefer that for this. Yeah. A nice sharp point to it. Big fat strokes. Boom, boom, boom. Got to make my own music tonight. I don't have the BB Black Dog on tonight. be really cool if you could like buy an album or something. Maybe you can. Like a elevator music or something you could have on in the background, and nobody could do a strike on you. Maybe I'll look into that. Something else I've got to do as well is all these live streams. I've got to cut them up and like do sped up videos of the inking and the drawing, and put those up as individual videos. That'll help the channel a bit. So I'm kind of stuck at 700 and something. But there's not enough hours in the day for you to do everything. So you want to do sort of like, you want to do some posts on the internet, on social media. You want to do some videos. You've got to do some networking. And then, of course, you've got to draw. Good Lord, I've got to actually draw. There's just never enough time. And of course, the most important thing is the artwork for me. Definitely. Okay. Let's move that camera over a little bit. There we go. It's easy to see. So yeah, there's always I might use one of the Tombos on that. Oh dear. There's, like I say, there's never enough time. But it's the downside of being a one-man band, I suppose. But the plus side is you kind of get to be your own boss, which is really cool. The only people I've got telling me to do things are clients. And you got to have clients. Someone's got to pay the bills. So don't mind that. So I suppose everything's a trade-off. Life's a trade-off. Can't complain now. I'm blessed to be able to do this for a living. It's not a proper job, is it? So my son keeps telling me. Still quite knackered though. I was up early this morning to try and fit as much into the day as possible. did you do the frame by hand? No, there you go, just for everybody else. Did you do the frame by hand? No. That's digital. So I did the digital pencils, put together a frame, and then printed the whole thing out so that I could ink it. But the frame is used on the interior of the book for the backer lists for the credits. So I thought I'd reuse it as a nice border for the sketch tier. I've totally fallen in love with inking with these things. Completely. I've got to work out where all this is. Okay, that's get the pen on that. Tombstones and iron crosses. Tombstones and iron crosses with illustrations for singular. I've got to do some research on old English cemeteries. Do you know a cool one? No, I don't. I don't know. It depends what you call cool. I've actually got a couple of churchyards near, just literally just up the road. I walk past one every day. But I would imagine Google is your friend for that. There'll be plenty of imagery online, I would wager. Love these whiteout pens. Posca. Fantastic things they are. Okay. Where's the new one? What I do is I have they obviously the nibs wear out on these, and if you're doing a lot of inking, they wear out. If you're inking quite steadily with them, they'll last 2 or 3 pages. The ink's still okay, but the nib is kind of getting a bit manky. But the pens are still okay to like do small fill-ins with, or the odd line. So what I do is I have a set of them, and the freshest one is the one without any masking tape on it. So as I go through them, I'll keep them ready in there. So I've got a few with masking tape on. But the latest one, the freshest one, I can identify because it doesn't have the masking tape on. So I can do some nice clean lines with that. And even though they're sort of very fine tipped, they still give that brush feel. As far as the line is concerned, what it looks like, because you can go from thin to thick, quite easily. So just did there. You can also flick them out for a trailing line. So I'll do a few there because it works there. I'll do some on here as well, and then get back to the brushes, the thicker brushes. What have we got? Evening, George. The kitties are doing very well, thank you. They're probably having a little nap now because I think my wife has just fed them when I started this stream. So they'll beat each other up for a couple of minutes and then they'll snooze. It's funny having kittens back in the house. It's nice having a cat back in the house. Our last cat, Toto, left us last year. He was 14, so he'd been around for a while, and his kidneys were going, so we had to let him go. It was best for him. And so we had a while where we didn't have cats for a little while, just a few months, but it got to a point where we knew we needed some animal presence in the house because you're kind of lost without them. And my daughter works at the stables and rides there, and they have stable cats, but basically semi-feral. And she picked a couple of kittens up, checked them with a vet, and they're all good. And now they're sleeping in my house. Less than 2 months until. Oh yeah. Can you give us the inside scoop on what to accept? Secret perks, original art, mailing list sign up. Yeah, I will put a mailing list sign up. Although I have to say that the people that have bought from me are already, that back the first book, are already on my email list, and as such, will get a secret perk sent to them. So I'll have a couple of base perks, and I will do some duplicates of those perks that also include the Preston Acevedo color print, and that will go out to everyone who backed the first campaign as a thank you. That will be there. And what else have I got? First 200 backers will also get an ink spots print as well, which will be he does like an acrylic set of colours, which I suppose are similar to Preston's, but his colours are going over the top of a cover I did for Arrow Comics. So that will be available as a print. I think I'm going to have it for the first 200 people, whoever you are, whether you've backed before or not. The first 200 backers will get one of those prints. So so there's 2 giveaways there. There you go. And I'll also be. I think I'll be talking to 6 a.m. Comics soon, and if he's available, I will be getting some of that done, because I'd quite like to do some more either stickers or a fridge magnet, or possibly a bookmark. I don't know. I quite like the idea of doing more fridge magnets, actually, with maybe the other horsemen on them. I think that might be quite a cool thing. So we'll see. So yeah, lots of things happening, and as far as the story is concerned, we get to see Chrissy playing with her powers, starting to understand how it all works, and maybe how a little bit more of how the universe works as well. So yeah, it extends out, and we get some bonkers fights in it. So, which is the most important thing. So yeah, I'm just looking to make it. I was hoping for September, but I've been so busy. I think I might have to launch in October, but that's okay. It'll still be the same turnaround. Just instead of people getting the book in January, they'll get it in February. So no difference there. I've taken on, because I've been doing so much work, I've taken on a colorist as well, another colorist. Just flatting though. I mean, it'll still be me doing the finished colors, but I will have to get a letterer, which I'm kind of organizing at the moment, just so that I can get the book done in good turnaround, which is what I'm about, getting it done on time. So yeah. I've already done some thumbnailing for it, and I'll be starting some pages, I suppose, next month, so in August. So like I say, I'm a little bit behind because I've had so much work to do, but it's all good. It's all good. It's one image on 2 pages, so a double splash, a double page spread across 2 pages, but can have multiple panels. Thank you, Marv. Thank you. Thank you, George. Yeah, that's Marv. Yeah, George knows what he's talking about. Did you get inspired by Galacticus and the Silver Surfer for your books? Yeah, I mean that kind of stuff. The whole, the old Fantastic Four stuff in the Negative Zone. Most of that stuff was that I read was John Buscema, but all of it was inked by Joe Sinnott. So visually, a lot of that goes in. Then there's Jim Starlin's books, Thanos and his connection to death, because that's quite sort of esoteric when you think about it. It gets far deeper. If you read into it, there's so much depth. Or it could just be like a big bad guy and there's a big bundle and superheroes and that, I liked it. I liked all that stuff for that. You could lose yourself in it. It's really good fun. So yeah, a little bit of that. Obviously, Kirby's work is is influential to so many different people, so many different artists. It does have an effect on me. Just purely from how rich it is. No, I mean I don't want to draw that way, but the how rich and dramatic and full of energy his work is. I definitely want to see if I can get some of that in my work. If I get a fraction of what those guys have got, I should do okay. Something else you'll find out more about is D and his physical makeup in the book as well. So there's a flashback for death. So yeah, I was inspired by all that. It's all the 70s, 80s Bronze Age stuff. I just love it. And cosmic. I just love cosmic stuff. I'm big into I love esoteric things. I love pseudosciences. Listening to Coast to Coast on oops, I messed that up. Coast to Coast on YouTube, that kind of stuff. But then also, finding out about real science, about quantum mechanics and astrophysics and stuff. I love that. I love listening to stuff like that and sort of bundling it all together, I suppose, in as wacky a way as possible. But just bundling it all together, all that stuff, all that kind of reference material, and then adding it all together in this kind of art style. But if you've seen any of the stuff I've been doing for Outliers, you'll see that there's a slightly different style there. Still very reminiscent of the things that have inspired me and that I love. But I think slightly more detail, more texture in the Outliers stuff. And there'll be a little bit of that in Only Death Can Save Us book 2, because I want to move on. I don't just want it to stay still. And there'll be sort of like a meta progression as we go through the Bronze Age art styles. Yeah. Get some white out on that. What we got? Maybe it was just Ernie Chan. All right, yeah. Yeah, I mean that. I couldn't do that kind of stuff. That was gorgeous. I remember that as a kid and thinking just how wonderful that stuff was, and it's so different to people like Palmer and Sinnott. So it's so very different, but it was just beautiful stuff. It's so difficult to get those Conan books now. I've been looking, and the only ones I can find are like £100 or more. Like $150. But even just the basic ones, so difficult to find. There's I don't know, what's the name? Is it the Iron Moon or something like that? There's a classic. It's actually an original Conan story that they put into comics. I bought it when I was a kid. I remember it. Is it the Iron Moon or something like that? I don't know. And I loved that comic, and I don't know where it went. Went in a bin at some point in time, like all my comics when I was younger did. But I wish I could get hold of that again. It's just the art in that, just stunning. Want to learn more about war? Well, don't know how much more you'll learn about him in book 2, but there is more of him. There is there is a 7-page backup story that is about war. So yeah, you'll get to see him in action on his own. Um, in It's a trivial story, as in it's more about fun than it is about anything too deep. But you get an insight into his character and maybe some of the adventures he's been on since the inception of the current universe, the third age. So you might enjoy that, actually. Yeah, I think you will. Did you ever read New Gods by Jack Kirby? Yes. It's up on my... I've got a reprint up there. Yeah, that's deep. Fantastic stuff. I'm gonna have to... The trouble is, you read so many of these things. I'm gonna have to go back and reread it when I get a moment. Oh no! Oh no! Hello, but thank you for turning up, even though you're stuck on an airplane. That's impressive. How does that work? Modern science is amazing. If you're looking for any savage or Cornish, let me know. I might be able to find it cheaper instead. Oh yeah, yeah. But anything John Buscema, basically, and any of the Conan with Buscema in, or Buscema, however you're supposed to say it. Any of that, anything. Thank you. Thanks for that. What a great offer. Hi, Derek. Thanks very much for turning up. Thank you, George. So, yeah, I just... that stuff. I remember as well picking up comics, and I don't know where this stuff is. I don't know if it's Herb Trimpe or not that did it. But I remember picking up like a Hulk book as well when I was a kid, and it wasn't the normal monthlies. It was like I think it was probably reprints, and a lot of it inside seemed to be done in pencil or charcoal or something. It's been so long since I've seen it. I'm just getting like a general impression in my mind of what it was. But I loved that stuff as well. And it was just so different for Marvel to be doing that kind of stuff. I think I don't know if it's called Rampage or not, the magazine. I think it was a British magazine. There's a Marvel UK magazine. There we go. More whiskey. I think it's time for more whiskey. Oh. Absolutely love these things. These Posca pens are the best. Right, now I've got to be brave because these are long straight lines. So not that pen, this pen. Okay, I'll do. Good-o. So am I going to put something? Am I going to put a little bit of Kirby in the background? Yeah. So I'll get myself a pencil. Yes. So I'm just going to put something cosmic just across the top here. Like I use a fat felt for the Kirby Crackle stuff. So when I was doing everything digitally, I used to want it to be so precise. I just found the rough edges to just so sort of a sense of freedom. It's great. Totally enamored with it now. It might have been Rampaging Hulk. It was a really thick magazine. It wasn't like the standard stuff, and they always had beautiful painted covers as well. You're reviewing and using the Wi-Fi, getting ready to leave and go back to Orlando. Well, you could be going to a worse place, mate. It sounds fun there, but it's warm. So yeah, Sal. Yeah, Sal. Yeah, they had a different style to each other. They were just great in their own rights. Black and whites. They were made to be closer to TV series at the time. So those issues did not age well. No, unfortunately. Yeah, the Defenders. Oh, I love that. It's just the Buscema brothers were just the best in my view. They were just the best. Just every time I think about that art, it just takes me back. And seeing it, you feel like a kid again. So here I am with a Copic, and so I'll do with the fat end. Mm-hmm. Sorry, I'm so silent. This whole doing two things at once thing is it's not good for me. Okay, I'll do. More whiskey. Oh. Oh, it helps with the leg. I got a bloody hamstring injury last week. Oh, I'm just getting old. It's horrible. Okay. Right, fill that in, and we're done. It's just, I shouldn't really be silent, should I? Like I say, I'm going to have to cut all these streamed videos and speed them up and put them up with a little bit of music or something, and so that people can watch them and not have all the terrible silences and the gaffs. Right, couple of extras. Get that around there. Okay. I have to do is tomorrow when this is all completely dry, I have to rub those pencil lines off. Here we go. Nice. What do I use? Okay. There we go. All done. Finished. Oop. There you go. So that's that done. What's the time? Oh, I did that in 50 minutes. Oh, that was too quick. Sit and drink whiskey for 10 minutes. That'd be boring. Right. So that's me. That's me done because I managed to get that done. I thought that might have taken an hour, but it only took 50 minutes. So that's pretty good. So that'll be winging its way along with one of my books, Only Death Can Save Us, book one, to one of the last two people that have ordered a book with a sketch. That's two people, I think, in the last batch. I think I've got a batch about 8 or 9 books to send out. So anybody who's watching, I know you guys did, thank you very much. But anybody else who's watching, so thank you, chat. Those people in the chat that have backed, everybody else who's backed, thank you so much for backing the book. What an amazing response. Just I'm completely blown away by it. So but it does mean that there will be a second book, which is great. And like I said, I was aiming to hit September 1 as a campaign start, but I think it's probably more likely to be October 1 because I want to make sure that people get their books when I say that they're going to get them. I don't want to delay things and so start it on September 1 and say, oh, I can't quite get it out for January, I'd rather start October 1 and get it out for February. But it is going to happen this autumn. There's no doubt about that. That's an absolute guarantee. So yeah, thank you everybody who's backed, and hopefully if you're watching this on the replay, you'll go and check out onlydeathcansavus.com. There will be updates on there very soon, and then book 2 will be coming out. But in the meantime, check out Outlier Comics. Check out Fulton Land, Joe Fulton. So his YouTube channel is Fulton Land, and I'm there on a Thursday with Joe. But also check out Indie Vault and Arrow Comics. Indie Vault, I hang out with Indie Vault guys as well quite a bit, and then Sugar and Sim as well. The Morning Roast. Check those guys out because I sometimes drop in there as well, and they're great guys. And another thank you, a huge thank you to Michael Bancroft for letting me finish off the campaign and start the campaign with him. What a lovely guy he is. And obviously Joe, thanks to Joe for helping out. But yeah, so check out Outlier Comics as well, because I think I'm doing some great work there. I'm really nailing it for myself. So hopefully other people think that, but I'm really pleased with what I'm doing. And the story is really cool. It's a great book to work on, and Joe's a lovely fella. So yeah, go check that out. You can also find me obviously here on YouTube. If you haven't subscribed, please do. It really helps. But also you can find me on Instagram, over on Minds, Twitter, and the Fleece Book. So you can find me on all those places. And please do sign up to my email list, because there's always information that's coming out about the books that I'm working on, and I don't fill your inbox up with rubbish. Also, go and check out Sin Killer on Indiegogo, because Marva's put a great book together there. I've backed it. Go check it out. I think that's it for the night. I've poured myself some more whiskey so I can drink some more. Thank you so much. Oh, Amanda, you just turned up. Thank you so much. But it's time to go. It's time to go. Thank you very much to the chat for being here. Thanks to anybody else who's watching. Thank you if you're watching on the replay. Like I said, check all my social medias out. Come find me. And that's about it from me. Thanks very much, guys. See you again soon. Time to go. Bye-bye.